Other than my reliance upon God, there's one practice that I have found to be crucial for me as an adoptive parent. In fact, it would probably be in my top 5. Having God is number 1. My anchors of encouragement is number 2. This next thing that I want to talk to you about today probably is number 3. I know it's top 5 because I understand how important it is. Hi neighbor, this is Tim. I'm coming to you from my outdoor studio today. Not my regular outdoor studio in my backyard. I'm coming to you from a remote location. I'll get to that in just a moment. But I want to identify for you today something that is necessary for adoptive parents as they navigate the challenges of the adoption journey. I know for myself that this particular practice has been a godsend. It's something that I don't do enough, but when I do have an opportunity, I try to do this practice. And the practice I'm talking about is respite. Respite is one of those things that, if I'm being blunt and brutally honest, adoptive parents just ignore. We tend to be there for everyone else but ourselves. And if we are running on empty with depleted resources, we can't be of any help or service to others, especially our families, especially our adoptive children who need us. So I want to talk to you about respite and share with you some ways that I try to incorporate it into my life. I told you I'm coming from a remote location. It's my outdoor studio. I happen to be today at Spring Mill State Park in Mitchell, Indiana. This park is about 30 miles from my home. It's a park that I've been coming to my entire life. I've been walking around admiring nature before I actually got to the village area where they have the grist mill and the log cabins and the reenactors of pioneer days. I went to the Gus Grissom Memorial. This happens to be Gus Grissom Day that I'm recording this episode on. It's something that's held every July in Mitchell to honor the fallen astronaut, Virgil Gus Grissom. I was in the museum where they have his Gemini capsule, the Molly Brown. And there were some boys there that were looking at it behind the glass. And I told them, I said, when I was your age, I could get into that capsule. They had a step that let us climb onto the top and get into the capsule. And I remember doing that. It was years ago on a field trip from school. Again, this place holds a lot of memories for me. But after I left the Grissom Memorial, I came to the Pioneer Village. And I've been walking around and just soaking in the architecture, the log cabins, the grist mill, the technology of a century ago. It's humbling to think about what life was like back then. And it puts, today's comforts in perspective. And one of those comforts that is, my go-to is air conditioning. Today it's 90 degrees and I am really hot. I do not like to be out of air conditioning. But the location of this particular village, and perhaps you can hear the stream in the background, is nature can provide its own air conditioning. I purposely chose this spot. I hope the stream is not too distracting. but I purposely chose this spot to record this episode for you. This is a stream. I'm standing by a stream that is fed by the Hamer Cave, maybe a football field away from me. And this particular cave, the stream that's coming out of it, runs down into the village. And there, through the engineering of the 1800s, this stream powers a grist mill, which was the lifeline of this community when it was actually functioning in the 1800s. This particular stream, I find relaxing. And I want to share this location with you with some specific points about respite that I think can be helpful to other adoptive parents. This is the way I do it. I like to come to Spring Mill. I'm by myself. I've been hiking around and come to this spot to just experience a cool breeze and the sounds of water. But I made some notes that I would like to share with you now, and I would encourage you to grab a pen and paper and jot these down. Tailor this framework for yourself. Whenever you find yourself in need of respite, these points can be customized to whatever suits you. But it's something that I believe, at least from my perspective, it's been critical to have this type of framework to implement, especially when I need to get some respite. The first thing about respite, and I'm using the word as an acronym, I would encourage you to write it vertically on a piece of paper. Next to the letter I, this is the first point. I'm going to give you these points out of the order of the spelling of the word, but they make sense in how you implement this particular practice. Next to the letter I, write the word intentional. Intentional. As I said earlier, it's important to be intentional about seeking respite. It just doesn't happen. You don't just wake up and you feel respite or you experience respite. You have to be intentional about it. Sometimes you just have to get away. And so number one is be intentional about it, because all of us need time to recharge. That's number two. Next to the letter R, write the word recharge. We need time to recharge. It's one of those things that, again, if you're running on a low battery, you're drained before you know it, and you have nothing to give. So make sure you're intentional, and then you understand you're doing this because you need to recharge. Number three, next to the letter T. This goes hand in hand with being intentional. You have to make time. It just doesn't happen, as I've mentioned earlier. It just doesn't happen. You need to make time for respite. Number four, this is where you can start to tailor it to fit your particular personality, your particular needs, whatever works for you. Next to the letter E, write the word enjoy. Respite happens more effectively and is more beneficial if it's actually something you enjoy to do. If it's not something you enjoy to do, chances are you aren't going to feel relaxed, you aren't going to feel rejuvenated. It's a no-brainer. Find something you enjoy to do. Now, when you think about things you enjoy to do, I've said this on the podcast before, I don't do hard. I really don't. I don't do hard. And when I'm giving these points to you, I want to make this as something you can implement, something that is easy for you to do. So next to the second letter E, write the word easy. Think about something you enjoy doing, something that's easy to implement. Now for me, coming to Spring Mill, it's 30 miles from my house. It's not that far. And so it was something easy for me to do. The gate fee to get into the state park was $7. Again, it's not hard to do. I would rather come to this park, spend $7 than, buy whatever I could spend $7 on. Next to the letter P, the next point in this respite plan is you need to plan where you're going to go. Now, for me, it's a park. It's a state park. Maybe it's a park in your hometown, a city park, a community park. In my case, a state park, again, 30 miles away, a state park that I can go to. So, plan where you're going to go. And I'll just throw this out as, think about a park that you could go to, because those tend to be easy to access. They're easy to get to. They aren't that expensive. And so I would like to encourage you to try a park, because there you can experience nature like I'm doing. And nature's one of those things. I mean, it's a reminder that God is on your side. You can just see the beauty of his creation. It's a go-to for me. The last point, for the letter S. And this could be different for each one of you. I don't know what this is going to trigger in your minds, and trigger I mean in a positive way, but give you an idea. Next to the letter S, write the word sounds. What sounds stimulate you? What sounds calm you down? Maybe it's music, and that's fine. I mean, there's times when I can't get to a state park, but I can turn on my phone. I wanted to say turn on the radio, but I don't even use the radio anymore. I turn on my phone, and I can either go to some of the apps on my phone, or I can go to YouTube, whatever. But I find songs, and the sounds resonate with me. But for me, you might have gathered why I'm recording this episode from where I am. The sound of a rushing stream is so soothing to me. I could sit here all day. In fact, I wish I had a chair with me to just sit down and listen to the water. What sounds stimulate you? What sounds calm you down? Maybe you're an ocean person and it's the waves. I don't know. Whatever works for you, that's what I want to encourage you to do. So let's get to your daily doable. I want to encourage you to practice respite. I want you to be intentional about it. I want you to recharge. I want you to make time for it. I want it to be something you enjoy, something that's easy to do, something you can easily plan. Plan to go to a park. I'm just going to throw that out there again. Plan to go to a park and find the sounds that you like to listen to. Well, that's all for this episode. I am going to spend a few more minutes by this stream, just soaking it all in. The breeze is cooling. The sounds are stimulating. But I really want to encourage you to put this into practice. It will help you to be a better parent. It will help you to, find joy in this journey. Sometimes it can be challenging, but when you take time for respite, you'll see the effects it can have on you. As a side point, before I do sign off, I've taken some time off this summer from the podcast. There is a lot going on. I won't get into all the details. There are positive things going on. It's a new job that I have accepted and is demanding more of my time. That being said, while I have been quiet in producing more episodes for you, I have had people reach out from everywhere. I mean, I can't tell you from every place they've come from. I have people reaching out that have listened to the podcast in countries I know I would never visit. It's been amazing this month to see the downloads from Southeast Asia, for example. It's just mind-boggling how many places this podcast is reaching. But also people who have reached out asking if they can share their story on this podcast. Adoptive parents want to share their story. Adoptees want to share their story. In the coming weeks, I plan to record some of these episodes. I also want to get back to the peace plan that I left you off with. I've been working on that. You might say that in getting ready for that series, I'm practicing what I preach. I'm putting into play and into practice the things that I need to be able to come and share with you what I have found works for me. And finally, if this podcast has helped you, if it's given you some ideas to navigate your adoption journey better, would you please consider sharing it with other adoptive parents? And if you haven't left a review for the podcast, that helps those individuals who are seeking for answers to find the podcast too. Share it with a friend, leave a review, and together we can help navigate the challenges of the adoption journey. That's all for today. Until next time, this is Tim encouraging you to do what you can now.